Well, hello there, social media family. You know, any subscribers and our visitors alike who are affiliated, associated with, and are representing my own YouTube social media channel and our chat room. How are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay. Not better yet to be said, all right. If not best of all to be said, to be feeling blessed and stressed, more blessed and stressed, and too blessed to possibly become or be stressed. You and yours, your family and friends, and hopefully me and mine, likewise as well, are the same. Then, I apologize. Yes, I'm sorry for the delay in the broadcasting of this present video or social media content. But then I suspect that this one proverbial neighbor from down hell, excuse my language, pardon my French, and has played part of devil's advocate, and has lesser two evils being a prodigal son. Because how the worst of two evils is in those closet devil worshippers who are unlikes among themselves, who make up most churchgoers or whatever religious denominations. Then as I backtrack here, and with reason and purpose being, so I can go on to following, so that I can or could possibly complete a former previous prayer line thought in the same sense word. And whereas I suspect that this one, poop butt pissant, punk ass, drug pushing, nigga son of a bitch, bastard neighbor from down hell could possibly be responsible for the delay in the broadcast. As in, one regard another. And especially if he himself is pumping, some such toxic fumes of aka knockout gas into my atmosphere for its premises of properties of a place of residence of apartment where I now pay annual monthly rent, utilities, and etc. in a worse neighborhood compared to where I was at before, and therefore having to be bothered with worse neighbors from down hell like this kind. And whereas he could have possibly done some of such, I wouldn't put it past him. As I suspect, he himself to be responsible for the delay in the broadcast, with me having from time to time be nodding out and have to shake myself awake. Whereas I suspect he himself has done just that, as I had said, being that said and I'm stated for record being of the former previous prior mentioned, so that he could possibly, once I were to, go into slumberland, as in nod out, he himself could possibly, with little or no static, well, I'm saying, with little if any, with none, static whatsoever, trespass my premises and properties on my own place rather than an apartment, so that he could spy out what's on my electronic device and could possibly attempt to make me become subjected to experiencing that of a case or situation of identity theft, among other things. And as he is a robber, a thief, like to be compared on to a pickpocketer, purse snatcher, especially if he's out in the streets selling his drugs to any gullible fools. And as a matter of fact, I noticed certain, personal effects belonging to possessions of mine either have been misplaced or worse yet, come up missing. And like say for this one SIM card to one of my cell phones, whereas I left it behind in my place before I stepped out. And then when I get back here, it's missing out of some or such. So these are the neighbors from damn hell I'm having to deal with. And moving right along with this slight interjection, whereas the only reason why I'm here now is because I got booted out as in kicked to the curb from a better neighborhood after another neighbor from damn hell in the past had managed to convince the administrator real estate personnel representatives to give me the walking papers that he should have received. And whereas from there, upon short notice, I'm having to move here just to keep from becoming a rank and file of the derelict trances, as in aka homeless. And now that I have gotten the preliminaries out the way, being the basic intro or introduction or footnotes, as well as the salutational greeting to you all that I had asked a question regarding making reference to your person, as I submitted it to you, the question at hand, regardless of whether or not I would receive that of an answer, depending on whether or not anybody were to become a participant of this present social media broadcast of video content. But anyway, though, moving right along, and whereas the present social media broadcast of video content is regarding making reference to this one stowaway that had ventured upon premises properties of a plane after he had managed to get on there without a ticket, being that because he had scanned more than quite a few passengers' plane tickets with his cell phone, and he damn near had, taken flight. That is, damn near had become a part of the passengers who had literal, actual, official plane tickets to travel elsewhere. And if it had not been for one of the flight attendants having discovered this mishap or this discrepancy or whatever, this particular problem with the stowaway, then who's to say what could have possibly happened worse yet from that? And he claimed that he only wanted to get back home, wherever home is, but then if anything, they should throw the book at their character, because nobody knows what kind of character he could have possibly, that he could possibly be, is what I meant to say. Sorry about butchering the English language and American dialect. For our overlapping tongue, with all of these grammatical usages of qualities and quantities to be associated with and representing that being of our own, so far as English or American dialect. Yeah. But anyway, though, as the backtrack here, we're reading on purpose videos, so I can go on to following to continue from where my person had last left off, so I can finish up as complete performing period 5 line thought in that sense of word. Same or similar, or whatever I would say. Whereas nobody knows what kind of character he could possibly be otherwise. If he's still away on a plane, if you scan other, that is, not that he was a passenger, let me phrase that to speak appropriate English grammar American dialect. If you're scanning, because he was not a passenger, not a legit official passenger. If you're scanning passengers' plane tickets, then that right there says that you're some kind of a character, and God only knows what kind of worse a character he could possibly be or could have possibly become if this one flight attendant had not discovered that particular dilemma or problem. As far as anybody knows, he could possibly have become or be not just the worst, but the worstest riffraff characters of the criminal element, being one of the likes of the male sexual predator animal monsters, scoping, stalking, and vamping or preying upon some of such focuses of his attention, being a prospective, possible, and potential prey of victims, women and children, or whatever races and whatever walks of life. And I think he was supposed to have been a white boy that had done that. That's what I'm saying, if I do recall correctly, remember? I think it was a white boy. Imagine that. That's a scary thought, Kind of get me thinking about this one particular neighbor from down hell being the main one of a local drug pusher who has threatened my life verbally, and I have had to call the police on him a few times, as I was saying, in more words of that. And yet he's still attempting to force a social involvement or relationship on me, whereas I want nothing to do with him. Like whereas he's speaking upon these matters, whereas he's attempting to make like he's turning over a new lease. I mean, did I say new leaf is what I meant to say, or like he has gotten a new lease on life. Only after he had witnessed that he can't bully me. I'm not having it. So he take on a different persona, but then he would usually take on a different persona anyway. That he take on a different persona when he had witnessed that I would dial the emergency number of 911 so that the police could show up outside his apartment door to address the issue of his daily and nightly harassment of me, or his attempt to harass me on a daily and nightly basis, an attempt to harass, intimidate, persecute, or bully me. And whereas when the police show up, he takes on a different persona, whereas he's making like he's the boy next door that any woman would want to take home her mom. Yeah, like, give me a break, And whereas now he's like supposedly taking on a different persona with me, likewise, as after he has witnessed that he can't bully me, he can't, harass, intimidate, or persecute me as he would have liked to from the very beginning before he changed his modus operandi. Whereas now he's trying to be more subtle, more sly, and not so obvious, from, employing the usages of expedients of profanity, cussing me out outside in the hallway, outside my apartment door, to following me into the business office of the administrative real estate representative personnel as I'm trying to renew my apartment rental lease here, though I was having misgivings because of him, as he would cause me to lose sleep playing the part of the midnight cowboy, not to mention playing the part of creep that much more. And as these neighbors from down here are more creepier than the last neighbors from down here, these neighbors from down here are worse ones yet, and a worse neighborhood compared to the neighbors from down here that I have had to be bothered with in a better neighborhood, And whereas I'm making him feel uncomfortable. Imagine that. And then from running down, first of all, and then from there, from sitting out on the stoop at one time or another, first of all, let me say, after that, other that I last mentioned, and attempting to spook me in the evening or at night after I had not seen him all week, and then he shows up out of nowhere during the weekend, and whereas he's talking smack crazy to me, so I'm having to call the police on him that time as well. And then there's the time he was like, like, now I mentioned this other, he's running down the sidewalk in my direction, whereas I had meant to catch a train, but from there I took a detour and caught a bus instead for mass transit or public transportation system. After he had done that as he did with one hand in his pocket, read between the lines, fill in the blanks. So therefore, once again, I had to call the police on him for that incident of a criminal nature. And then there was time after that where he's saying, if you call the police on me again, we're going to have problems. So therefore, I had to call the police on him for having said that to me, because I'm like, what do you have against the police, Like, he's playing a real life game, a poker bluff with me as a means to attempt to spook me again. And now whereas he's attempting to make like, as if he's quiet down, that he don't have much beef with me, trying to work an angle like I'm supposed to, all of a sudden take him up on his supposed so-called, more gentle and civilized persona now. I'm like, I ain't buying that, you know, none whatsoever. Just see me and don't see me, you know. I mean, so far you attempting to establish rapport with me in a serene, sociable, civilized way now. After you done made my life a living down hell for the longest, that ship has sailed like the Titanic or Lusitania. So far as speaking upon these matters and moving right along to get back to the original subject matter with this slight interjection. Didn't to think that I had seen him today, but he didn't say anything. He's in the hallway, like he's creeping around my apartment door. The very minute I come out of my apartment, he's coming out of his. I'm like, what's up? What's up with that? Like he's still attempting to, you know, force some kind of social environment relationship on me. Like he wants me to accept the new him compared to the old him. I ain't buying that. But anyway, though, and now getting back to the original subject matter, topic of discussion to be debated or given an argument with the many different views and opinions to be affiliated, associated with, and representing thereof. You know. Then I had already mentioned where I suspect that he has most recently fumigated my place with some knockout gas, attempting to render me unconscious, attempting to have me nod out to go into slumberland so he can make sure he could trespass my premises or properties of a place of residence for my apartment where I presently pay annual monthly rent, utilities, etc. in this worser neighborhood, and having to be by with worse neighborhood than him. For whatever reason and on purpose, he could do that, be it were to even so much as go through my personal effects, belonging to possessions, or worse yet, bother with me personally. But anyway, though, moving right along and getting back to the original subject matter, or type of discussion to be debated, you know, or given an argument with the many different views and opinions to be affiliated, associated with, and representing thereof. So far as concerning this one stowaway on a plane. So this character in his own right of a male, he managed to, you know, scope passengers' plane tickets on the slide when they're not looking. You know, he had to be creeping around, creeping, not along, just alongside them, but worse yet, or worse of all, in back of them, looking at them, you know, checking out their plane tickets, and he's like taking cell phone photos and video of their plane tickets, you know, on the slide. I'm like, what the? Are you freaking kidding me? So that's what I have gathered of current events or news headline story from what I can remember, and I'll keep y'all posted as and give you an update if anything else comes along as to whether or not he himself, well, I know he had to at least be arrested first of all, and then from there I will let you all know as informed you whether or not he has to go to court for that, or has he reached a settlement, as in could it be dismissed, or will he himself be doing jail time? Well, that all depends on whether or not I feel like doing an update upon some of such, you know. But anyway, just as long as you all got the basic general idea of what's being said in this present social media broadcasting, you know. So other than that, you all take care and be safe. We out. Peace.